Just weeks before the big summit between President Biden and Vladimir Putin, a hearing for a former U.S. Marine behind bars in Russia has been postponed after he tested positive for COVID-19. Trevor Reed is serving a 9-year sentence in a Russian jail. He was charged with assaulting police officers. He and his family have denied those charges. Paula and Joey Reed are Trevor Reed's parents, and they are with us now. Thank you both for being with us. I want to talk about the summit in a moment, but first, Paula, let me start with you and your son's health. Is he experiencing symptoms? What do you know about his treatment?
We don't know anything about his treatment. We haven't been able to talk to him since he was taken to isolation. He was experiencing a fever, a cough, and he lost his sense of smell or taste, possibly both. That's all we know.
And what's the effort? I know that there have been some communications with the U.S. Embassy there. What are the communications to try to get some answers about how your son is doing?
We communicate with the embassy daily, sometimes multiple times a day, and the State Department. They tried for several days to get a COVID test for my son, and that was denied by the jail. And then finally his attorneys wrote a request, and he was given a COVID test last Sunday. They're currently trying to get contact with Trevor, either by phone or in person, or have him contact his family, and they're not getting through the Russian systems. They're trying all day, every day for the last 3 days.
I cannot imagine the not knowing now that you know that he is tested positive. How did you find out about the positive test?
We found out through his legal team.
And when's the last time?
Yes, they met with him. They met with him on Monday for a meeting at the courthouse, and where the jail sent him the day after he was tested, but they didn't have results yet. And then on Tuesday, the lawyers were notified that he was positive, so he could have exposed the entire legal team and the judges in the courtroom.
Wow. When is the last time you were able to speak with your son?
The Thursday before that. We get a phone call Thursdays.
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes.
Okay. Let me move on here. We talked about this summit that's coming up in about 3 weeks between President Biden and Vladimir Putin. Starting just broadly, should President Biden meet with President Putin if your son is still detained? As to say, should his release be a condition of that summit?
I don't think we want to commit to national security situations and things that the administration is having to deal with, because they obviously have more to deal with than our son, but our son obviously is the priority for us. We do believe that it should be a major part of their discussions, in any discussions, and we would hope that both President Putin and President Biden can come to some sort of an agreement to release our son and Paul Whelan, who we believe are both imprisoned illegally and are innocent. And in Trevor's case, video evidence and witnesses were shown in court to prove that he's innocent, and yet he was given the longest sentence in modern Russian history for that charge.
Paula, you told us, one of my colleagues actually, that back in February, I believe it was, the Secretary of State assured you that the administration would take any opportunity that it had to speak in person with the Russians directly about your son's status. They would do that. Do you have assurances that he will be one of the topics of conversation at this summit?
Absolutely. We totally take him for his word, and we know that he's already spoken out about Trevor on the lead up to this, just via some phone calls and things that we have learned from the State Department. So I trust him totally. I know that Trevor will be a topic of the conversation.
Joey, you mentioned all of the facets, all of the depth and breadth of the issues that the U.S. and Russia have to discuss. When you get a breaking news alert like the one that came out about this new cyber attack, what goes through your mind? Do you feel like this will make it harder for the U.S. to bring my son home? Do you think there's some residue, some overlap?
Absolutely. Our heart sinks every time we hear of some negative engagement between our two countries. When our peoples are more the same than they are different, the Russian people are wonderful people. Our governments have different strategies and beliefs, and they need to come together, and they need to solve some of these problems and be able to at least be affable or work together on the things that we have in common.
And Victor, I want to say that, you know, when Trevor was serving in the Marine Corps, He had to sign extra time on his term to do Presidential Guard. And he served during the Obama administration when President Obama and then Vice President Biden were at Camp David. Trevor was there helping to protect them. And we are begging and hoping and praying that President Biden will do his best to bring our son home because he protected him at Camp David.
I know, Paula,
Our son-
the idea you have not just a son who is there, but a sick child. Now that you know is so far away, just the feeling of not being able to speak with him.
Okay, it's really hard. I know as almost every parent knows their child, so if we could just talk to him and hear him say he's okay, then I'm able to tell through his voice if he really is okay, or if he's saying he's okay because he doesn't want me to worry, but he's really suffering more. It would just be nice if, even if it's not just us, if he could call the embassy and they could relay that to us. We just want to know how he's feeling.
Well, Paula and Joey, we, of course, hope that your son comes home soon as well, and that there's some comfort that you at least get a phone call from your son. Paula and Joey Reed, thank you both for being with us.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you for having us.